the sacred fire dance of Bel or Beltane. Which is why they dance around in the sacred circle around the sacred pole. Entering the trance of the dance of romance. The esoteric flow of the inner circle or the tunnel of love, the rabbit hole. The primordial abyss of the goddess, like her birth canal. So now you'll understand the true symbolism behind the logo and the company of Chanel, which is actually the channel, the Chanel, which is known as the Vesica Piscis, the woman or the goddess channel or her birth canal, which is the exact same symbolism that you will find at churches and, of course, with Jesus. And of course, where the black time cube is where you will find the black hole of the goddess. So now you'll understand this commercial by Chanel. So again, I'll explain. First of all, we have the light fertility of Bel on the head of the train, which is a phallic symbol. And then we see the symbol of the bull, which is the bullseye. Did you catch the sex magic fertility of the train going through the hole of the Vesica Piscis, or the female tunnel of the goddess? Did you catch the Istanbul? The subliminal sex magic of the Illuminati. Tell you I love you. Chanel, number 5. And of course, the number 5 is the 5th day of the week, Friday, the day of the goddess of love, Venus. And when you try to change the channel of your television set, in order to get the energy flow of the programming, you need cable. Which is why the Cabal owns cable in the Eye of Ra or Horus. And the Taurus or the toroid also gives us our spiral or our spirahel, which also gives us our twirl, which is exactly why we call our twisters a tornado, which is why the toroid shape of the tornado is named after the Taurus bull, which is also known as a funnel, which is where we get our turbine. And of course, the turbine comes from the Taurus bull, which is a form of electricity. And now you know where the powerful burst of energy comes from in a turbo, which is from the Taurus bull. So obviously now you understand that the word turn comes from the Taurus bull, the toroid of the spinning Taurus. And did you know that when you shoot a bullet down a gun barrel, it spins in the toroid shape of the spinning circle? And of course, the phallic bullet comes from the fertility of the bull, which is why it is shaped like the obelisk. And also, lead is the metal of Saturn L. And the outer casing of a bullet is known as the shell, which comes from the female. And so now you know the secret behind the shell of the goddess Venus and her shell. And remember that the planet Venus is the ruler of Saturn. So we see the connection with Venus and the fertility horns of the moon. And we find the fertility horn of the moon in the ancient depiction of the Venus of La Selle, which is around 25,000 years old. So like I said, the ancient worship of the fertility of the goddess was always before the male. And when we go to a circus, it's because of the sacred circle, which is why at a circus you will find the circling or the spiral of L.
Treasure chest on one of these, so if you get one of these, you may win the treasure chest of toys. You have 30 seconds to spin it around. Whatever you get, you'll get. And if you get a treasure chest, either the picture or a word that says treasure chest, you go home with every toy today. Okay, Larry? Good luck to you. Give the magic bonanza wheel a spin.
Joel, okay, let me just show you how it works here. Start here. Like that.
Wowee, Kazowie! That's totally drawn me in. I'm getting a little bamboozled watching it. Oh, no.
So you see, the circus or the circle is the representation of the zodiac. And that's exactly why you find the animals at the circus, because the zodiac means the animal wheel. And the sacred circle of the goddess is the sacred symbolism and meaning behind the word church, which comes from the ancient goddess of magic and witchcraft, the goddess Circe. And notice the symbolism of the circle behind her, which is the cirque of L. And the circle or the hour or the Horus also gives us our word whole, as in completion. And also our word whole or the ho-el, which is exactly where we get our word whore from, the big black dark hole, which is why they call them a hoe from the big hole. And when you're looking for a hoe, all you need to do is find a hotel or perhaps a motel. The whorehouse is known as the most ancient profession in the world. It traces its roots back to the ancient homes known as bordellos, which were Sumerian homes built in Uruk, built to house prostitution. They were known as brothels or the sex whorehouse of El, the broth or the Beth of El, which is the house of El, which is exactly why Bethlehem is the house of God. So now you'll understand why they tell us that the world was created by a big bang, and the theory of the black hole, which is all about sex magic. So the cow goddess gave birth to the universe, which is actually the uterus, which is the female bull that creates life. And this is exactly why that the bull is behind the creator, because the creator is the Taurus bull. So now you see that even our very word creator has the Taurus bull in it, the creation of the Milky Way. And the very word create or creation actually comes from the creation of the crescent of the moon. And we find the ancient lunar cow goddess or the moon worship on the ancient island of Crete. And the bull worship of the Minoan ancient civilization gives us the Cretan bull. And believe me, you're not going to find this information on a bulletin. You see, truth is like a golden coin. There are two sides to the story. The obverse, which is the obvious, and the reverse, which is the hidden. You see, this is why we have a double-sided coin. And this is exactly why it's called a coin, or a co-in, the couple into. And now you know why they call it heads or tails, which is just a form of sex magic. And this is why money